We're gonna rank the head coaches that were hired this year. So you guys can prepare for that. I'll start off. Can I start off with last? Um, But I would say, so if I'm going through the list, I think the best candidate within this group of coaches this year was by far the Bears getting Ben Johnson. He's number one for me. I would say number two would be Aaron Glenn. I don't know why, but towards the end, I wasn't a huge fan of Aaron Glenn, but towards the end, I really started liking him. So he's probably number two on my list. Um, Three, I mean, I guess I would have to go. I think I, this may surprise David, but I think I'm going to go Kellen Moore with the Saints. Will be my number three. Number four would probably be Mike Vrabel. Five, Pete Carroll. And the only reason I'm putting Pete Carroll so low, and I know age isn't a huge factor, but the guy's old. I mean, he may die this year. And
I
then,
think
and then honestly, I mean, I know the Liam Cohen guy because he did good with the Bucks, but I barely know anything about him. So he's down there at number six, and then obviously Crappy Heimer is last. I mean, he was rated a D minus on like every web page ever. So,
well, I am going to put Schottenheimer number one,
oh,
Pete Carroll number two, Ben Johnson number three, because I don't know. I mean, we don't even know if he knows how to. The only good thing he's doing is building the offensive line. Um, I do like Glenn. I am a fan of Glenn. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go Glenn next, and then I'll go Moore. No, I'm going to put the Jaguars coach above Moore because I just don't think Moore. And then
Vrabel.
Rabel. I've never been a fan of his. He just stands on the sidelines, and I don't know why they think he's intelligent because he never makes good moves. So I'm going to put him last.
Nice. I'm gonna say I'm gonna pick Ben number one, Aaron number two, um, Vrabel number three, and Pete four, Liam five, um, um, Brian six,
Oh,
and I did not want Kellen Moore back. I didn't want the same old garbage. So no.
nice. I like it. I think my dad messed up the list, but I think actually he went from last to first, but
You're
that's
going to feel bad when Schottenheimer's winning all year.
uh, if he wins more than 8 games, I'll be surprised.
Okay, when he wins 15.
If he wins 15, I'll buy a Dak jersey, and then
Okay.
I'll wear it when we lose in the playoffs.
Okay. David, you heard it.
I got it.
All right. Well, we'll go on to an actual question. Just something fun to start off with. Who does everyone think our number two is going to be at the start of the season? Because obviously, as of right now, the only addition we've made is stupid Paris Campbell, and he's going to get cut hopefully next week. But I mean, I would have to say it doesn't look like they're going the free agency route. So if I'm predicting, I'm going to assume we're going to go receiver in the first round, whether that means trading back or McMillan dropping to us. Out of hope, I'm going to say McMillan will be our number two.
Um, so I'm going to answer the question by asking a question that if the Ohio State, which I think he will be, the receiver from Ohio State, Ekabuba, what's his name? Would anybody take him with the 12th pick?
Yes,
Would you? Okay.
I would.
Okay. I think he would be a great number two when I say that. He has good size, he runs good routes. I don't think T Mac's going to be there. Um, and honestly, if they're both sitting there, knowing the seasons that Ikabuga had, um, but with that being said, our number two will be Turpin.
Ah, I like it. As long as you didn't say Tolbert, or else I'd have to kick you off the podcast.
You can't.
All right, David.
Okay, who did you say,
I said
Peyton?
McMillan.
Oh, okay, got it. Um, so what I would like is I would like um, one of the I'd like us to sign one of the free agents
Mhm.
that's out there, that's like Diggs or someone like that,
Yeah.
so that and also make the number 12 pick, um, so that the number 12 pick doesn't feel all the pressure to be the number two. But with that said, that's what I want. But the question is, what do we think will be? And knowing, predicting the Cowboys or the Jones people, is that they're not going to sign a free agent um, that's legit. And they are, I think it tells me that we are picking a receiver at 12 for sure. And so the cool thing is that I think that um, they were saying that McMillan is like more of a number one, but the thing that they said that would be so great about getting McMillan would be if like CD got hurt for a couple of games and McMillan could take that number one role. But the but he is the best talent. But with that said, I don't know how to say his name either. Egbuka, whatever his name is, from Ohio State. Um, he has played with so much great talent at Ohio State that he is the almost the perfect number two. Um, and I would take him. I would go McMillan first if he's there, and we're like doing the happy dance, like when CD was picked, and then or at Buka from Ohio State, or and then that Golden
Mm.
um, from Texas. And then the funny thing is that that Burden has dropped like deep
Yeah.
to the bottom of the first. And man, if he fell to us in the second, whoa. But anyway,
How
but
happy
yeah,
would you guys?
I'm gonna stay with T Mac
Yeah.
as well.
How happy would you guys be, or upset would you be, if we somehow T-Mac dropped to us in the first, and somehow Burden dropped to us in the second, and we got both of those guys?
That would be sweet because then we wouldn't need a veteran. We could bounce what's his bucket from the Eagles.
Kick him out of here.
That's right.
Alrighty. Well, we'll move on to the next one. I mean, Zach Martin retired. Um, it's supposed to kind of be a two-part. What do we think the O-line will look like without him now? But also just sad that's retired. I mean, Martin, I mean, was probably there, has been there since I really started watching, and I mean, I'm glad to see him retire, still kind of at the top, not become a shell of himself and really die down and go through like the season he just had where he's hurt and all this stuff. So I'm happy to see him kind of go out on top, but I feel like he could have gone a couple more years. And I just wish it's just another one of those guys like with Whitson, with Romo, Dez. He he's just another guy who deserved a Super Bowl. I mean, so bad during that whole, 2010s era that if we could have just got a Super Bowl for those guys, they deserved it so much. Obviously he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but it just sucks to see him go. I actually think our starting guard going into I want it to be Bass. I'm a big Bass fan, but I actually think Brock Hoffman is going to end up taking that spot after how much they raved about him during the in season, and he did do well. So that's my guess how that everything will be the same. I think Guyton's gonna. I'm a big Guyton fan. Guyton's gonna step up. BB's gonna be even way better now that he had a year. Tyler Smith is always gonna be good. Steele will be still solid, and then I think Hoffman will get that spot.
So, with us getting, was it the offensive coordinator from Kansas State or the offensive line coach
For he's the
that we
O
got that came over from Kansas State?
well, he was the offensive coordinator there, but he's the
Okay.
O-line coach here.
Yeah. So now everybody talks about BB being a really good center, but a dominant guard. I tend to wonder. I know we're not hearing anything, but if you have a guy who's going to be the fifth best center, or he could be one of the top guards, I have a feeling that they're moving BB to guard and and put Brock Hoffman at center or Bass. Um, I don't know. I just keep getting this feeling unless they draft. Um, Dallas does what I'm gearing myself up for. As much as we love Flash, I just I know we're gonna get our hearts ripped out, and it's gonna be some offensive lineman, and we're gonna be going, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I hate to say it, but unless Dallas, if Dallas does not draft a guard, I'm going to say that they're going to move BB to guard.
I like it.
No, I agree. Talking to Blake, we both thought that Zach Martin could play a couple more years, solid years, kind of like Travis Frederick.
Yeah.
Travis Frederick could have kept playing, and even though he was playing at like 70% of himself because of that illness he got, he was still better than that stupid Biotish or whatever his name was. But 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 yeah, I just think he should have eked out another year. But I have no idea. I think that they talk about um I mean it is interesting. I think you're right. I think that Hoffman would be better suited at center than guard. Um and BB was awesome. The only thing that I really want to keep BB there is Biotish would get pushed back by big D tackles. I think even though Hoffman, we love his attitude, I think he would be pushed back. BB is not going to get pushed back, and we've kind of needed that because the way our offense rolls is that we need that middle three solid for Dak because he can't function. He could run for his life if the tackles are halfway, but he can't deal with the middle falling apart. So to be honest with you, I have no idea what we're doing at guard. And actually, by you asking this question, I almost think that we probably will draft somebody like in the second round. Um, like, and this is a very guard friendly draft. It's a horrible offensive tackle draft. Thank goodness we're not looking for one. But so I bet you we get one in the second or third round, but I have no idea.
Yeah. I say I still think we should bulk up Schoonmaker and make him useful. Throw him out of the line.
Is how is the center group? If Dallas moved into BB, how are the centers in this year's draft? Has anybody seen that?
Mm.
I don't think they're that good.
The top one I've seen is like projected late second round. So I don't know how great that is.
Okay. Because it seemed like last year when BB came, well, the year BB came out, and maybe we were just obsessed with the center, but there was, they had a ton of them. It seemed like I was really surprised. It seemed like there was 4 or 5 that we were all in love with.
Yeah, Frazier.
Graham could have played center.
Yep, both those. It was one of the better offensive line drafts in years. Yeah.
It was. Well, we'll start going through our free agency. Um, that is amazing for us Cowboys fans, but mediocre to any other fan base in the world. But we'll start off with the first signing. We had Osa. I think he was our only multi-year. Um, I think it was three. I accidentally put 4 years, but I think it was 3 years. I can't remember. Um, I mean, I guess we can all go. We'll talk about it, but so I mean, I personally love the signing. I love that we got Osa. I've been a huge Osa fan since we drafted him. I had my money we were not going to re-sign him. I was like almost 100% confident Dallas was going to let him walk. So to see them actually go and get him is made me very happy. So I'll let you guys talk on that.
I would be happier if they had already signed Parsons with him. Um, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm getting frustrated with the Osa signing when they won't sign Parsons. And I know it'll get done, but in true Jones fashion, they're going to wait till everybody moves the price up to defensive ends are getting $50 million a year, and Dallas is going to be standing there like they did with freaking Dak and hose us again by not just signing somebody early. Um, I don't know who does their negotiations. It's just it's mind boggling why they can't come to the table faster. I don't get it. I think that's probably my most frustrating part of the Cowboys is why can't they get to the table faster? Why do they have to wait till the 11th hour to step up? But um, I was super excited about Osa. I agree. I am. I will say I don't know why there's no talk of Tyron Smith. I don't know how if he was that bad last year, but why can't we bring him back to the Cowboys? It seems like nobody's signing him. So why is there not even a conversation? So
Yeah. David.
I was kind of torn with Osa. I was kind of like, if he wanted like too much money, I was like, good riddance, because he would always kind of like peter out at the end of the year and not show up. And so I was kind of annoyed with him. but but with how rare defensive tackles are in this league, I think it was very smart that we got him. They say that it takes about 4 to 5 years to get your defensive tackle where you want him to be, and he is getting better. And so, um, and we signed him for cheap, and so it was a brilliant, all around, great signing. And so I can see why they signed him just before free agency.
Mhm.
So it was big. Um, that's why I'm hoping, like, Mozzie has gotten better each year. I'm hoping that kind of Mozzie is not a pass rushing D tackle like Osa. He's different, and so He's slowly getting better, and so that's my hope.
Yeah. And I think that will also play a major role into it is I think once we can finally, I don't have faith in Mozzie, but whether it's Mozzie or whoever else, once we can finally get an actual one tech who can come in and take up two guys so Osa isn't getting double teamed all the time, then he'll be able to shine a lot more often. I think because we went through this whole period of, you know, losing Hankins, Mozzie, whoever else we had, bringing back Carlos Watkins, all the, most random one techs you could ever think of. So the guy's just been killed this whole time. So I think that will, if we can find just someone, I mean, just go get a 600-pound live person, tell them to sit down. Like,
Yeah.
but, so I think once we find someone else, will shine even more. But, go through this one. This guy's quick. CJ Goodwin. I mean, Mr. Reliable, I guess, yay. Okay. But I will say I thought he was going to leave to go with Bones Fossil to Tennessee. So to see that being a priority, I mean, I guess cool. So
I didn't think we'd sign Goodwin either, so it was a nice surprise.
yeah. Now we can get to Hoffman. Yeah, Hoffman I like my dad said, I'm actually really happy we got Hoffman. I almost wish they would have signed him to a bigger deal. At the same sense, he was a restricted free agent, so we were getting Hoffman either way. I just kind of wish it would have been a multi-year deal, but yeah. Anyone else? Going to the next.
Go to the next.
Okay. All right, we got Davis guy. Wanye came back, also restricted, but hey, we'll take it. But this is another guy, just like Hoffman. While they're restricted, I don't get why you wouldn't sign these guys to multi-year deals. You can get them cheap. You don't have to worry about the market. Why wouldn't you have signed at least those two to like at least a 2-year deal? Is my thinking, especially when Donovan and Malik Hooker are coming up on free agency next year. If Wanye and is your future, why aren't you signing this dude to a longer deal? Is my annoyance of it.
That's my frustration with all of these signings. Is there? I get that the NFL has changed, but why can't they sign these guys for 4 to 5 years? It's stupid. The team's turning over every season.
Hmm.
Um, I wonder though, with them re-signing him, are we going to see different safeties back there? I mean, nobody's talking about Hooker. I mean, if they're going to be here next year, or if they're gonna be starters. I love. Well, we'll get to him, but I'm just wondering if they like him enough that he's going to start this season.
Yeah. David, it's your guy. What do you think?
Um, no, I was excited. They would have been stupid to let him go. I think that our safeties are deteriorating. I mean, they're sufficient, but man, if I watched what's his bucket take the wrong angle on a receiver like one more time, I'm like, it was like grade school. He's like running and then he's all running behind him. I'm like, take the angle. I mean, he can hit well, but no. Wanye all around. I was surprised that he didn't play more last year. I think he was hurt, wasn't he? Hurt?
He
Yeah.
was hurt.
Yeah.
And I will bring back this to give you guys some good memories of our awful season is I think my favorite play will be forever how whatever he does with us will be when he got the onside at the very end of the Commanders game. And that was such the cherry on top of that win. That was so awesome.
It was awesome.
Um, but we'll go. Okay, we're just gonna skip Tyrus Wheat. I mean, that guy's pointless. So I don't think anyone. I did. Yeah, he's pointless. So we'll go on to Marquise Bell. I really like Marquise. He had a big drop off this year. Kind of became just a special teams ace. Um, I just I want someone to be able to use him kind of how Quinn did. Not as a linebacker, but before he was thrown into that linebacker role where he was that hybrid, what Jaron Curse was playing, where he was coming up as a linebacker, strong safety. Because he fits that role so well. He's not big enough to be a linebacker, but when he's coming up, he's a physical, and if you give him space to cut, I mean, he dominated there. And so I hope because we signed him for 3 years. So obviously they love the guy. So I just hope whoever our coordinator is, Eberfloss, new guy, whoever can fit him into what he's good at. Dad, go ahead.
So Everfloss wasn't Hooker with Everfloss, and he got him out of town in Indiana with
Hmm.
Indiana.
Hmm.
I so with that signing, if I'm reading between the lines, I feel like the safeties um aren't going to be around. I think he's rebooting this. I get the feeling that Bell is going to be a starter at safety. That you again a 3 year deal. I can see them giving him a 3 year starting him at safety. Um, and like you said, I think Quinn did not. I shouldn't say this, but it did Quinn putting him at linebacker towards the end of that season and exposing him. Uh, I wish they would have gotten a little smarter once people started realizing what to do. I think he kind of messed with his career at that point. But anyways, I think he'll be a starter.
Yeah, David.
Um, I think that yeah, I don't have much. I liked how he played linebacker, hitting hard, and then he didn't play at all, but he got hurt.
Hmm.
And so I just want to see where they play him, but I'm glad that they resigned him.
Yeah. And then we'll go on to um, my favorite player, and I should probably get a jersey. Cavante Turpin. Um, I mean, I love that guy. Ever since he came from the U, I mean, we've always had our skepticism on UFL guys, but I mean, I've loved it because I mean, his story is so awesome. The dude was supposed to be a second round pick. He was insane at TCU, went through all the legal trouble, went to the European League, somehow goes to the UFL. Like, his story is so cool, and he is a second round talent, and we see that he's still so fast. Um, so he was another guy who scared me, even though he was restricted because there was a lot of talk on them trying to get that second round pick out of the 10-year thing. So I was really worried about that, but I'm thrilled we got him, and I think my dad will bring it up, but I just hope we can use him on offense more. I mean, he has Tyreek Hill ability. He really does. We saw it towards the end. He has Tyreek Hill ability if you just get the ball in his hands. So,
So if Dallas made gave 2 sevens for Tyreek Hill, how that affect Turpin?
I mean,
I mean, I would want to get all three of them on the field, or Turpin and him on the field, and then put uh, CD at the slot would be pretty fun to watch. But I think we're all big fans of his. I just hope he gets more chances. He gets more touches. I don't know why they've kept him on the shelf to protect him so much. I don't understand coaches, but I'm excited to see him get more time, and I feel like he will.
David.
Um, I don't think he could be like a number two, because he's tiny. Because like Cooks could not shake big corners and things like that. I think that if they did some more jet sweeps with him and put him in space better, I think that he would get more touchdowns. And so I think that is where Schottenheimer, I feel, will use him more. I just don't think McCarthy did a very good job. And so, I mean, he was all excited when he score return a touchdown, but he just didn't utilize them at all.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Um, Punter. I'm guessing we can skip by that guy. I know, I know Blake would have something to say about how we had a
Yeah,
bench
he
war
would.
on him. But I mean, yeah, cool, I guess. But and if you guys didn't notice, I mean, I didn't even bother putting the long snapper on her because
Right.
Thank you.
I mean, you could hire some guy from the bar to head out there. So, um, but we'll jump to Israel. He's actually, I mean, I think underrated signing, under the radar kind of signing. To your point, Dad, this is another guy who can play safety. And also another guy who could also potentially also be a Lewis replacement because he can play corner. I love how just versatile Israel Mukamua is. Um, and I mean, I really liked him when we drafted him. He kind of just, we've seen flashes here and there. You never, every year we don't know if he's going to get cut at the beginning of the year. It's kind of like, oh, we'll see. And then he somehow always gets some random pick at the end of a game. I mean, I think he's like, it's just funny. He shows up, but never plays. But I like the guy. I mean, I think he's a signing that could potentially start. Another guy, same as Wanya. Why didn't you sign him to a multi-year deal? Is my only issue.
Big fan of Israel. I like that he can do anything. He's big. He's huge. I think they need to get him on the field more. So I was happy with the signing. Wish it would have been a longer contract, but they didn't call me. So
Um, I'm not super impressed by it. Um, Probably needed it because we're short corners. Um, but I don't have any comments on either one of these guys.
Well, and then we'll Dakota Shipley. We'll
yeah,
skip.
we can skip that.
This is the third time he's been signed by Dallas. Just
I,
so everyone knows.
yeah, that's weird.
Everyone knows he's back again. Now we can finally get to my dad's hatred of my beloved Javonte Williams.
Ugh.
I love Javonte. I know you guys are gonna hate him and all that. I love him. I love him. I love the signing. Fan of him since he came out of North Carolina. He reminded me of Nick Chubb. You know, Would have preferred Chubb, but I love his youth. He had the injury which affected him and all that. He was still a captain with the Broncos, and people don't realize. I mean, the same thing happened to him. What we were doing to Rico at the beginning of Dallas. They were doing a running back by committee. No running back will ever succeed in a running back by committee when you got four other backs rotating in. So I think hopefully he can take off again. I wish we would have signed him to a longer deal. I love Javonte Williams. Um, the only thing I don't like is they give him 33. I don't like that another running back's wearing that number, but I love that guy. I know you guys are going to disagree, so go ahead.
I don't hate him. I hate the Sanders, that idiot, like Mike Sanders or whatever, Miles Sanders. I'm not a fan of him at all. But I don't mind Williams. I feel like, I mean, I think he's going to be okay. He's a bigger back, right? He's like 230, isn't he?
Oh, probably around there. I think
I
it's
think
more
he is.
20.
But I don't know. There's just I guess my only reason I'm not more excited is there's so many backs in this draft, and I still want Deuce to get a shot, and so I'd rather move these people along. But I think he's a solid, he's a decent back. He's not going to be a superstar.
David.
All right. There's a minute left.
All right.
So I'm going to summarize. I won't be able to get back on. So I think I'll surprise you. I do like Javonte Williams. He
Okay.
torched us. He torched us when they played us. But when he got hurt, I'm just concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that he comes back.